Hi, this is Leo, and today I'm going to show you how to build a inbound funnel ads that will generate at least 30 to 40 new contracts per month for your SaaS or software company. With this methodology, we have been able to close at least $150,000 for one of the customers that I'm going to show in this case study. So without further ado, let's start looking at it. Here, as you guys can see, it's Donnu. I'm one of the co-founders from Donnu. We use AI and automation to help SaaS companies, B2B service providers, and software companies to scale their business and generate more revenue. We have been doing this for quite a bit of time now. So in the last 8 years and in the last 2 years, using a lot of AI to do that. It really helps. And I'm a co-founder of a SaaS myself. I have been invested by one of the biggest VCs, venture capital companies in the world. And yeah, that's it. So this methodology that I'm going to show you here we have been validating this for the last 8 years. We have applied this same methodology for more than 100 customers already. It doesn't really matter if it's a SaaS or if it's a service or maybe a software. What it really matters is the principles that we use from behind this methodology. So the marketing and sales principles that it doesn't matter what really is your market, your niche, your product, or your pricing point, it really always applies. So I'm going to show you how to actually use this for your advantage in your own company. So in this case, we're going to be talking about Active Corp. They have management software for transportators. So they help transportators to manage their fleet in a more advanced way, in a more lucrative way, maybe print documents and manage those documents that they need in those transportations that they do, things like that. And as a lot of companies out there, they were having difficulty, they were having a hard time with either a high cost of acquisition, so they were paying quite a lot of money for each sales call that they had, and also they have an insufficient amount of leads coming in every month. So sometimes they either have a low volume of leads, and some other times they even got leads, but they weren't qualified enough, right? So when we started working with them, we started using the same methodology that we apply for all of our customers and that really works, which is a reverse engineering from your competitors. So we're going to see what your main indirect, direct competitors, inspirations from your niche, what they are doing, and how they're getting their results. There are 6 main things they're going to look in how your competitors are doing, and those are the traffic source they're using, the audience that they're going for, their marketing materials, how do they look like, what's their those marketing assets, how they look like, the value proposition that they're using, how do they configure the offer, and the conversion mechanisms that they're using to turn website visitors into leads into calls into customers. Right? We're gonna go a little more in depth in each one of those main aspects here. But for instance, when we start analyzing their 15 to 20 competitors from Active Corp, we started seeing that pretty much all of them did have a pretty good amount of energy spent on ads. More specifically, we saw that something like 70 to 80% of their competitors were doing either LinkedIn and Google and Meta, or at least one of them. So out of this research, we already saw that both Meta and Google were a pretty good place to start. We didn't see they're doing a lot of outbound, for instance. Some of them did produce a good amount of content, which also gave us the insight that we needed to start creating more content for Active Corp. Nowadays, Active Corp has a pretty interesting YouTube channel. They have something like 10 or 15,000 subscribers. So it really helps the ad strategy that are currently running for them, right? So the content really just adds fuel to your ads engine, right? Another thing that we saw is that their competitors, they were going a lot for transportators specifically, which is kind of obvious, but at the same time, we could see a particular type of transportators that they were going for. So they were going for urban transportators, so just do more urban logistics with lighter vehicles, so bikes or smaller cars or vans, but they weren't really using heavy trucks, for instance, in doing high distance or long distance travels, right? So we saw a particular type of transportators that this sort of product would benefit the most and would probably be the best ICP for this project. For this project. Also, we saw that these competitors were using some static images, sometimes showing, you can't really see everything here, right? But you got the idea. Showing a little bit about the software, doing some direct offers, offering a free trial, offering a free demonstration, or just like, hey, schedule here a free demonstration. The way they were, just using their landing page, you can't really see here, but the value props. So that's actually the fifth. The part number 4 here that we always look for. So what kind of value props are they using? So automatize your fleet management, decrease costs with your fleet. For instance, decrease maintenance costs for your fleet, decrease the time you spent with your internal employees, decrease 30% of your costs with maintenance, or in 6 months save at least $1,000 per car of your fleet with our solutions. So there's different ways that we can frame our value proposition, and we can learn a lot when we look at our competitors, especially the ones that are making money already. So we can get that information, get our expertise, our experience, and make it pretty good for our product, right? Number 5 is the offer. How their competitors are framing their offer in a way that they generate as much as confidence in the prospect that they will solve their problem, and at the same time decreasing the risk that the prospect has when they buy from them. So with our offer, the most important thing that we can do is give away that we increase confidence in the prospect that we will solve their problem, but at the same time, if something goes wrong, we'll have a way to give them a guarantee, right? You probably have heard Alex Hermosi and a bunch of other guys saying this. We really started with Alex Hermosi. We really put that out there. I mean, it's basics of marketing. It's, again, principles. So that's why it really works, right? And also, the last thing that we always look is the conversion mechanism. So how they're turning leads into calls, for instance. We saw that they have some forms on their landing pages. After this person filled that form, they got directly booked with a closer, so with an actual salesman. So they were, for instance, in this case, they weren't using any chatbots yet. They were using, some other types of conversion mechanisms, like webinars, like lives, like master classes, for instance, things like that. They weren't really using it. So it doesn't mean that you have to do exactly the same what your competitors are doing. But let's say that we analyze 20 of them, and you see that all of them are doing this 5 key things. So we know that those 5 key things are very important for us to do, and of course that we can bring our expertise here at Donnu, for instance, things that we have tested out with other niches, with other products, with other softwares, other industries, for instance, and they tend to work really well. So we add knowledge on top of what our competitors are doing. Your knowledge, for instance, for your product, the conversations you have with your customers, for instance. And when you add your competitors' intelligence, your own intelligence, and sometimes when you have the help with an agent that's specialized in inbound, for instance, in building funnel ads, we get a really winning strategy, right? So when we have all that in mind, we build what we call here at Donnu the growth canvas. You can see here that we have all 6 main parts that we were looking what the competence is doing. So what channels they were using, what ad formats or marketing formats they were using, the target audience they're trying to communicate with, value propositions, offers they're using, and the conversion mechanisms. And with the strategy that we designed, we started feeling here the things that we think will work best. So for instance, we saw that most of them were doing Google ads and Meta ads, for instance. So we're going to do that too. We saw that for ad formats, they were using static images with value propositions and things like that. And they were also using videos from their customers giving testimonials about how they like the product or how they use the product in their daily lives. We saw they were speaking with kind of urban transportators. They have this specific value proposition. They have a free trial offer. They were converting leads on their landing page using lead forms, for instance. So we started putting our instances, our best guesses in each one of those main parts here. And when we combine all of them, we have a list of like dozens of things we have to test, and we start prioritizing them. So starting with the ones, of course, that we think will work the best, right? So let's say we start testing 3 things. Number 1 really goes well, so we'll double down on it. Number 2, we have to see a little bit more. And then let's say that number 3, it doesn't perform the way that we think it would. So we put number 3, let's say, in the garbage, and we got number 4 instead and start testing number 4, right? So we start doing this over and over again until we find the best instance that will perform as we want. And in this case, it's currently generating 30 to 40 closed contracts per month and adding $150,000 in revenue for them every month, right? So here we can see a little more practical examples of how we actually did this, like in real life. So we knew that we had to test different landing pages, for instance, right? So here we have different value propositions, for instance, different ways to present the product, the software. Here you can really see, but these bullet points here are the benefits, the main benefits that the software delivers. So we can test and validate different benefits, or even we can use here, instead of benefits, we can use problems that we solve, or key features, for instance, or key capabilities. So there's really a lot of things that we can be testing here. So that's why you saw there have dozens and dozens of things that we can test, and we prioritize the ones that we think will generate the biggest amount of results. In this case here, they also had different products. So of course we needed different creatives, different campaigns, and even different landing pages, because here we were trying to sell some, for instance, BPO, so just like outsourcing of their financial bills and receivables and things like that. And in this case here, we're actually selling a software to manage the fleet. So they had completely different value propositions and benefits, and they were solving very different problems. So the ways that we either bought traffic for this product and for this product were very different ways, so different keywords, different audiences, for instance, and the way that we try to sell them was with different landing pages as well. We could even have different VSLs, different video sales letters in each one of those landing pages, speaking specifically about this specific this specific product. And actually we had different VSLs in each one of those landing pages. Just so you can see some of the creatives. that we're using. Here's in Portuguese. This company is from Brazil, so you guys can't really see it, but we're just using the same value proposition in all of them, which is something like just make your transportator company bigger by automatizing your operation, for instance, right? Automating your operation, for instance. But the same value prop with different templates, then we can see which one of those templates will convert best and will make more qualified leads that will generate more revenue. It's nice to mention, here at Donnu, we even have an AI tool that will help us to scrape your competitors' your competitors' creatives, ads, landing pages, everything 24 hours per day. And every time they do something different, we get notified, right? So let's say, hey, competitor number A, or they did this in their landing page. Hey, competitor B, he uploaded a new creative with this message, for instance, right? So we're never behind our competitors. We always see what they're doing and having new ideas on how to, just get things they're doing really well and do similar things in our funnel, right? So this is a way to do that in an automated way. Of course, you don't need that. You can do that manually as well yourself, but with a tool, you just save a lot of time as well. And here, of course, as I said, remember we're testing 3 things. Number 1 really went really well. Number 2, we're still testing out. Number 3 didn't perform as well, didn't perform that greatly. So we started testing number 4, right? So this is kind of what I'm showing here, that we do every week or even daily some of the things. So yeah, as some of the results here, we managed to decrease their cost of acquisition by at least 50%. So they were spending actually more than 2 times the cost per meetings they had a year ago. So it decreased by almost 3 times now. They are having currently more than 120 sales calls per month and closing something like $150,000 in new contracts per month. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you want help to build something like that, or to actually kind of think on how you could, just use the same principles to increase your SaaS, your software company, or your B2B service business, or your consulting business, please let me know. There's a link down here in the video. You can either schedule a call with us, or just leave a comment, or just keep seeing our videos on YouTube. We will be posting very frequently, and that's fine too. Thanks for watching, and peace.